area. That's the Council on American-Islamic Relations, Sate of California. Bassem and Moina have been my go-to people in getting this all together. This was an idea that Moina brought forward. Bassem I've worked with on a number of issues. They're just great friends, people that I really love having around me. We're all here to show that, again, Muslims, it doesn't matter. You know, there are good people and bad people in every faith, in every occupation, but we really have to understand the great contributions that have been made by Muslims. And one of the foremost ones is a Nobel laureate, Abu Salam, who was one of the founders of particle physics, what's called the Standard Model, that explains most of the things that you're hearing about today, like Higgs particles, all the physics that's now being explored in the collider in CERN. So we have great scientists, we have great engineers, the designer of the Sears Tower, we have great politicians. I think we have now a Muslim American in Congress. There will be more. We will have folks, I'm sure, here in the Assembly and Senate sometime very soon. I just want to say how wonderful it has been getting to know the Muslim community and how much I've just enjoyed meeting, working, becoming friends. And I can't say anything more about that. Bassem, would you like to say something?
We'll start with Zahra.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, I should introduce you as well.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Sure. So
you're
with the
care for the Bay Area.
Yes.
And she's an extraordinary person. She's executive director for the Bay Area, and I've been to a number of her events, which also just celebrate the diversity and the wonderfulness of the Bay Area.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. My name is Zahra Billu, and I'm proud to be a resident of the Bay Area and so appreciative of Assemblymember Quirk and Moina Sheikh for putting together today's event, and Bassem for bringing so many local residents from the Sacramento area out to celebrate Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month. We could not have timed it better given the news and current events that have been going on now for months, but also just over the weekend. It's particularly important for me as a Muslim woman to be speaking out and to be joined by my colleagues here who are also speaking out, to send a strong message that we are speaking up for ourselves, that we are proud residents of this state, and that we are stronger when we stand together. Last year and the last few years actually have been a very difficult time for members of the Muslim community. There were more hate crimes and hate attacks in the 2 weeks in November last year than in any other 2-week period in the last 15 years. There were more attacks on mosques and Muslim organizations last year than any other year prior. And we know that one of the best ways to push back against this is for our leaders to say that hate rhetoric, that bigotry, that none of that is acceptable in our communities, in our cities, and most importantly in the state of California. And so thank you all for being here as we celebrate the first Muslim Appreciation and Awareness Month.
Ken Cooley, Assembly Member, there he is. Just came in. The cities you represent are?
Citrus Heights and Rancho Cordova, but Arden, Arcade, Carmichael, areas of the county of those ones.
All right, and so a number of your constituents. So, Bassem?
Oh man, this is a historical event. And to have all these leaders and staff members from all over state agencies we have here today. I'm actually worried right now because I'm worried about the IT infrastructure of the state of California, because I'm noticing a lot of state employees who run IT are here. Actually, can we see a show of hands of all the state employees that are here from our community? And we want to thank them for their support. I'll tell you, this event today represents hope. Represents hope. Despite all the challenges we face, we want to thank Assemblymember Bill Quirk for his leadership, to make sure that every one of you knows that you're part of the society, that you're appreciated, that the work that goes unnoticed is recognized. And we have key leaders with us here today from every facet of life. We have Qais Manoufi. Where's Qais? The CEO of Delgada. And I'll tell you, they do some of the most important projects for the state of California. We have journalists. We have Tata Munfarid from Cultural Senses, who does work around, actually around the world. And we have her here, Ras Siddiqui from Pakistan Link. We have our state employees that do IT. We have Dr. Ann Kajemtra, who's at the Department of Public Health. Folks from every facet of life. We have law enforcement. Musa Abdrabbo, where you at? Musa hiding somewhere. We got our folks from law enforcement. We have veterans. We have children of veterans, right? Our very own Mahina Ahmed from CARE, her father's a veteran. We have our doctors. We have our dentists, our engineers. We have folks from Silicon Valley who made their way out here. Mufad Alizi used to work here at the Capitol. He was senior advisor to President of the Senate, Darrell Steinberg, and he's now the California manager of Google. We have our allies that are here. We have Andrew Medina from Asian Americans Advancing Justice, who've been there with us through all the challenges, have been there to support our community. So this is a historical event, and we couldn't do it without your support. Our community from all over California is out here. We have Malik Bendelhoum, who represents the Shura Council of Southern California, the largest umbrella of any Muslim organization in the country. They represent over 80 mosques and organizations. Malik, where you at? Who made it all the way from Southern California to this historic event. We want to thank you for coming out. And so our business leaders, our scholars, Dr. Hamidullah Sayyidi, who's Afghan-American, a major scholar who resides right here in this area. We want to thank you for coming out. So, like I said, we'll remember this event in 25 years. We'll remember this event in 50 years. Despite all these challenges that are facing our community, we're forging ahead. We're being positive. We're being proactive. We're letting our fellow Americans know who we are, what we're about, and how much we give back to the state of California. And I'll tell you, our founder of CARE, who's not here, Rashid Ahmed, he's a state engineer, and many of our board members at the time when I first started were state engineers who work at Caltrans, who work in, I forget which agency it is, but they work on our dams. We say, we have so many dam engineers, And they work on vital projects all over California. And I think, we have to share this with our fellow Americans. Let them know what we're doing and what we're about, what our community is about. So just want to thank everyone and thank Assemblymember Bill Quirk for his leadership over the years, really making sure that our community is always there. And also the staff members who work here at the state capitol. If you're a staff or an intern at the state capitol, raise your hand. And you know what? Yes, they're mostly Democrats, but there are a few that do work with the Republicans, which is great. It's to show that our community is diverse as any other community. And I want to end with recognizing Moina Sheikh. Moina Sheikh's family has been instrumental, not just in Northern California, statewide. Her children have been instrumental in many organizations. Really, it's a family that always works for justice, inclusion, interfaith, that's always bringing people together. And just we're honored to have you here at the state capitol. You've been an amazing leader who's really brought our community together and connected us with the wider public. So thank you, Moina, for your leadership. So this is gonna be a historic day. We're gonna go on the assembly floor and receive a resolution. And so we hope everyone will stay and go over there and let the rest of the country know that state of California, what the state of California represents diversity and inclusion. And hopefully this will spread around the country. And also, I want to end with this. Assemblymember Bill Quirk, if you look at just the event page, which we have not deleted the comments of, he actually received a death threat on there, And so we'll also remember that. We'll remember that 25 years down the line, 50 years down the line, that people were not afraid. He was not afraid to put on this event. and remain firm, receiving threats, you know, you name it. But we want to thank you for your courage and for your leadership. And this is an individual, a leader that we have to stand with.